Since starting this channel, I've posted lots of content about how great it is to be a loan broker, the great work-life balance it provides, the amount of money you can make. And of course I've done that because I own two businesses in the brokerage industry. I own and operate a very successful brokerage that specializes in investment real estate loans, and we close hundreds of loans every year. And then I also coach and mentor other brokers. But it would be disingenuous of me to pretend that it's all sunshine and rainbows all the time. Just like any career, it does obviously have its downsides, and if it's something that you're thinking of getting into yourself, then it's important that you know what to expect, both the good and the bad. So in this video, I'm going to talk about lots of negative things for a change, and hopefully I won't talk lots of you out of joining the Loan Broker Academy, but like I said, it is important that if you're getting into this career, that you know what you're going to be dealing with. So the first downside is that being an independent loan broker can be lonely. So most brokers work from home. Most brokers don't have employees. Most brokers don't have colleagues. Of course, that doesn't apply to everybody, but most of the brokers that I speak to on a daily or weekly basis, that's their scenario. And working in that way can be lonely. And it can be boring. I find that myself sometimes, sometimes it's as much as I love the freedom that my job provides me and the amount of time I get to spend with my kids and my wife, sometimes I find it hard. It's hard not to have colleagues to bounce ideas off, to talk through files with, to get energy from. Yeah, sometimes it can be lonely doing this job. The next downside to this career is, of course, the stress of an empty pipeline. Most brokers work on commission, so we don't have a salary. So if a loan doesn't get closed, or if we don't have loans in our pipeline, then we might not make any money. Thankfully, after a lot of hard work and dedication, we don't really have that problem anymore, so I generally have a pretty full pipeline, but I remember really well what it was like starting out, and I was trying to grow my brokerage business. I was stressed about that. With a pretty bare pipeline, where was the money going to come from? How was I going to support my family? How was I going to pay my mortgage? How was I going to pay my car payment? How was I going to pay for groceries? This is stressful, and I see it all the time from brokers that we coach and mentor, whether it be new brokers starting out and they're stressed about getting those first few deals across the line, or existing brokers that come to us for help because it hasn't been going well for them and they're stressed about not having a full pipeline and not having that income coming in. Next on the list is the frustration about a lot of the loan process being out of your control. Now, I'm a control freak, I admit that. I talk all the time in my videos about how important it is for brokers to stay on top of their files all the time and to know what's going on at all times with their loans, so that they can get it from start to finish in the quickest time possible. But there are things, unfortunately, that you can't control. Like, for example, an appraisal. I've said this before, appraisals are kind of the bane of our existence, and they're the thing that destroy loans more than anything, is a bad appraisal coming in, and that's something you have no control over, and that can be very frustrating. And of course, then the borrowers themselves. So if you're waiting around for borrowers to get documents to you, to respond to emails, they're the ones slowing down the process on you, which ultimately is what slows you down getting paid. Because as we've talked about, if a loan doesn't close, you don't make any money as a broker. So other things that are out of your control that prevent you from getting paid and getting paid fast can be extremely frustrating and can make you angry a lot of the time too. The last downside I mentioned is not having someone else to motivate you. And this is linked to both being lonely and not having a full pipeline. But when things are slow and there's not a lot going on, it can be hard to stay motivated. If you work at a company and you have a boss, you're accountable to somebody. You have someone there to motivate you. The accountability motivates you, and the people around you motivate you. The people in charge of you and the people that are your colleagues, they're there to motivate you. But when you're by yourself and you're independent, you don't really have that accountability. You're only accountable to yourself. So sometimes it can be hard to pick yourself up and motivate yourself. So these are just some of the downsides to the career path that I chose, and it can be hard to navigate these downsides sometimes, but that is the life of an entrepreneur. That's the life you're choosing when you choose to work for yourself, to be self-employed, to be an entrepreneur, to be independent. And every entrepreneur goes through this at some point, at some stage of their career. I don't care how many social media posts you see about people, entrepreneurs saying about how great their life is and how amazing their career is. They too have downsides. Don't doubt that. There is downsides to every single career. Now, if you want to be an entrepreneur and you're the kind of person that would thrive dealing with the challenges that I've outlined in this video because you know that the juice is worth the squeeze, then reach out to us. All our contact info is below in the description. See how we can help you get started as an investment real estate loan broker. See you in the next video.